So, all right. So, I'm just gonna get straight into this because I think that I don't know. I think it's a pretty cool topic to cover. And I was saying before, hi, hello there. Like I was saying before, I feel like I follow enough people that are either like crazy into music or artists themselves that make music or make like instrumentations. They either produce music or they're vocalists or they're rappers or they're whatever. Like I think it applies to a bunch of people. So like the question came up because being an artist, I deal with a lot of waves to everybody. Wave. Hello, everybody. So the question came up because I deal with a lot of people that they're always like looking to collaborate with music, and I personally, I'm a huge supporter in collaboration. I feel like music it expands as you start including like other perspectives, and other ingredients into what you're making. It just makes it better. So artistically, I'm a huge supporter of collaboration. I think like I'm always looking to work, and I think that like as an artist who takes his craft serious, I think that if you're not looking to include, people into your mix on some level, then you're missing out on a huge opportunity in most instances. Like we're not all J. Cole or we just do albums with no features and stuff like that. And even then, like, like production wise, like stepping outside of your comfort zone and getting production from other regions, even, intercontinental or I mean, across different continents. And like, I think that's important. I think it makes your sound more diverse. So the question comes up, what is the etiquette for collaboration? With artists, you get a lot of, we we make music because we want to create art, but then also we would love for this to be our our primary source of income, or our our like our main way of we're making money. And I think that we get kind of jump the gun a lot of times. We want to instantly just be making money out of the gate and just saying a little shocked. I thought I was going to be in here by myself with the I and just the number one by it or zero. So what's up, you guys? So I'm a strong believer in working for like you have to earn that. You have to work for that. Because what you're selling is your brand. When you're giving a price on a feature, when you're giving a price on, a beat, it's your brand, and your brand has to be able to support the price that you're asking. So do understand that you have to earn that. Like, for instance, I personally, if I'm gonna work with the artist, like I'm not bougie. I work with everyone pretty much, but like realistically, if you have a price line set and it's not supported by what your brand is, like realistically, without building your brand and making your brand an identifiable, thing that people want to associate themselves with and be affiliated with, you're literally missing out on all of those opportunities to collaborate. What's up, everybody? All those opportunities to collaborate with, with talented artists or other new to this, we're fresh to this. Um, we're just gonna link up and we'll push things, you know, simultaneously and like as a team and like build off each other. And if I eat more, you eat more, and that kind of thing. Like, I think, what's up, man? Howdy, he said howdy. What's up, man? Long time no see. I'm actually surprised at how many be a period of time, and sometimes it's a long period of time where you're not getting the views, you're not making the money off of streams or just the money off of features, and you don't just jump into something and instantly turn a profit. No, literally no business works that way. And if they did work that way, it wouldn't be a major thing to earn that, that level of that. If more people had that in mind, we'd have a lot more collaboration and better music being produced. The idea of, hey, like, look, I'm not a superstar yet. Maybe one day I will be, good, God willing, and neither are you. And we're kind of, same tier or what. Personal advice is to really check into people's into their resumes, because a lot of these established artists, they're actual, like the local guy who's the local, like, oh, he's buzzing locally or something. Like, a lot of these like seasoned guys that are like that have no, like, people looking for that opportunity to have them, featured or be affiliated with them, or be mentioned in the same, breath as these people. So what you get a lot of times is, these guys, they're say they're like a C-lister, B-lister, whatever, like it takes all levels, but they have some notoriety, and you as an artist, as a hopeful, you will spend, top dollar for whatever feature price they're asking, whether it be like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. These guys have feature prices that, it makes sense based on your career and all that stuff. You earn that stuff. But my advice, as far as making that investment, like, yes, be willing to pay what it costs to get the quality that you're looking for. But on the flip side, do look at how beneficial that link up will be versus, that same amount of money or that same amount of effort being, hey Mabel, what's up everybody? Do look at that same, if you apply that same energy in another direction, like just promoting yourself or getting your own solid production, or the top of the line, what's up Marley, hey, the top of the line production, like instead of investing that in a collaboration with a more known artist that might not push the record that you're affiliated with them on, like investing that in yourself and into your sound and into your promotion and forming those bonds individually, like that might be the better option, like, because you could spend a couple $1,000s and have a song with A and B artists, but like, are they actually pushing that? I've seen so many guys like really drop. And I know because I ask around, and I have the aspiration to just work with artists that I respect. So I'm always asking, like, looking to link collab. What, like, I will pay top dollar if I feel it's worth it. It doesn't matter to me. Like, it's about the art. But I've seen, people like pay those price tags that these guys are asking for and get not a shout out, not a post, not a, like, it's almost like they just got shipped a stored verse, like they might as well have not even done the collaboration, or it could have went to anybody. It's like there's no, and it's this weird thing with collaborations where, like, if it doesn't feel organic, it doesn't grab you. You can throw a bunch of dope artists onto a track and it could be a dope production, but if it doesn't feel like they were even organically vibing, and it doesn't feel like they actually even messed with each other and had an actual conversation, much less, we're in the same studio, which the business doesn't always work like that. But if it doesn't feel organically authentic, it doesn't catch. It just feels like robotic and manufactured. It feels like a cash grab, and you don't want to, like, truth, if someone's feeling me, it's just, and so, like, I just feel like that could be a wasted opportunity, because really, instead of hoping to be aligned with someone else's established brand, that, I think the more fruitful investment is making your brand the recognizable brand. You can hear that in the music. Exactly. You hear it. You can hear when in these same guys, you can hear when they collab with someone that they themselves see as on their level or higher. It's a whole different energy, because those collaborations, the one that they're sending to the artist, that's what's up, BayAreaCompass, what's up? The collab that they're sending to the artist that is a lower tier artist, it's not even, they're not giving it their all. They're not putting their they're really just, at this point, they're just eating off of their name and, what they've, earned throughout their career. They're just eating off of their legacy at this point. but with the artists that they respect on their tier or near their tier or higher than their tier, then you see a different level. It says it depends on how you listen to music. What do you mean? Lunchtime. I am lunchtime. What do you mean by that? It depends on how you listen to music. Because I do agree. I think that is like a factor that would affect things greatly, like how you listen to, like, are you talking about in regard to how those collaborations sound? Or because I know myself as a music listener, I listen like with a very intent ear, like, because you make music, I'm a rap nerd, so I'm like listening deep, and then the stories behind things and the Easter eggs and songs and stuff like that, like that means a lot to me. So I know I listen to music maybe a little differently than like some people might, but for me it's like when you can hear that this is a cash grab versus this, this is a feature where they really put their all into, and they really try to bring it. It's like, it makes me feel for the artist that got the cash grab verse or the cash grab feature, because it's like, these people, like, as an independent artist, if your music isn't bringing you a huge income, then you likely work a 9-to-5 job, or like you have, like, you're saving for this, you're putting you're all into this, and you're really hoping for a huge return on it. And it's like, no, you're not gonna get that in a lot of instances, because these guys, a lot of times, like, they're funding their album, or they're funding whatever, with the people hoping for some notoriety from affiliation. But realistically, like, yeah, it's not gonna do anything if that artist isn't showing that they mess with you. And they show that they mess with you when they post about you, they talk about you, they post the song that you guys did together, and that's how they show that it's an authentic track, and not something that they just got a quick rack or two off of. And like, I see a lot of times, like, people that I follow, because I follow indie artists a lot, but I follow established artists a lot, and I'll see indie artists, they'll be posting, it's like, oh, I got this song with so and so, I got a song with so and so. This person is like a known artist, say in the Bay Area, or a known artist in their area, but then you go to that person's social media and there's no mention. They don't even mention this song. So it's like, it almost feels like this person is just reaching for some acknowledgement, and this person is just basically like, that didn't even really matter to me, that didn't even, like, it didn't even happen. So when I listen to rap, all I care about is the bars. Some great collaborations came together with artists not in the studio together, and that's true. I agree with that. Artists don't have to be in the studio together to have great collaborations, I think, and that the business works more in the direction that you're talking about, where the artists can, like, most of the link ups I've done, it's been through computer and like email, and like really I built that relationship through conversation and everything. It's not just like a robotic kind of thing. There is some vibing, but it's not like, it doesn't always have to be like, oh, we linked up in the same studio and recorded this together. Like, that's not how the business works so much all the time anymore. And I agree, but you can hear what's authentic though, even when that's not the case. If you sent me something and I really mess with you as an artist, you sent me something, oh, when I'm recording to it, I am all in. Like, you might as well have been in the studio with me. You might as well have been creating it. Like, if you send me something and it's a real wave, it's a real vibe, then you're getting all of me on my, if I really mess with it. And I just think that a lot of times you're not getting that out of, artists should think about collaborating with more producers. Exactly. That's my Empress Marley said that's hella sad, and I agree. Yeah, artists should think about collaborating with more producers. My biggest thing that I learned over the time in doing music, like, is that expansion of, so, or collab with different types of different artists, like R&B. Hey, what's good? What's good with you, man? How you doing? Thank you for joining. Yeah, I find that I get, like, in another zone. I get in another zone. Artistically, I get actually eyes from other areas, and when I expand, I see so many artists that get so stuck in, oh, where I'm from this area, this sound is popping, that's all I'm gonna deal with, or this producer is popping, that's the only producer I'm gonna go to. And like, I've been lucky enough to, like, make real relationships with really dope artists from different areas, and it benefits. You hear it in the music. You could hear the difference. What do you say? If I reach out to you for a feature, I'm not looking for you to promote the song now. If we discuss that and you don't do it, now you're a liar and I can't trust. But here's the thing. The Now we're talking about making a business decision, because, like, yeah, I'm an artist too. I want to, I only really, I want to do music with people I really mess with, like, but I really mess with, people on every level of it. But I'm gonna be real. If I'm reaching out to, like, say, like, I'm a huge Yuckmouth fan. If I reach out to Yuckmouth and I know that's gonna cost me money, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not dropping all that kind of money and all that if it's not gonna be, like, something that's truly felt and truly organic and truly, like, reciprocated. Hey, you're gonna treat this like it happened, like it, and that's what like. Those people aren't obligated to do that. I'm just saying, me personally, business wise, it doesn't benefit you if you're not getting that reciprocation. Just downloaded your album on iTunes and making sure to follow. It's hard, but don't forget to have fun. Hey, man, thank you for that. I appreciate all the support. I am shocked that I get as much support as I get. Like, it's, you guys are like, without people that follow me and actually, like, mess with my music and support it and push it out there, it would be in this little bubble, undiscovered by anybody, and I truly appreciate you guys for that. Empress Marley said, we limit ourselves. Wait, you said, and different producers will bring out different aspects of us. We limit ourselves. Yes. Different producers will definitely make your sound do different things, and I think that people, we limit ourselves when we mess with the same sound, the same producers. It's the same old. We don't evolve, and as an artist, when you don't evolve, you eventually get left in the dust, because the great artists are always evolving. I'm not saying just completely abandon your sound or your fan base or what made you who you are, but to not evolve at all, that's like, you're literally asking to just be left in the dust. Like, even some of the greats, the legends and stuff, they still evolved throughout like, if you're not getting better at this, if you're not moving forward, they say, like, for some people, treading water is the same as drowning. Well, it's that. Like, if you're just sitting still and staying afloat, the rest of everyone's moving forward and they're learning new things and they're doing new things. And if you've never expanded, then what are you doing? BayAreaCompass said, right now, I feel artists from our region are restricting themselves. Reach out to different producers from different areas. Yes, that's my biggest thing. From our region, from the Bay Area, our artists, we have so much talent out here, and, like, even within the Bay Area, the vicinity, I see a lot of the abstract just get kind of overlooked. Some of our dopest artists just get overlooked, but then, like, beyond that, reaching out to other areas and in taking, like, if you're a clothing designer, you don't just deal with the fabric that, from the materials in your region. You also go overseas and you see, different fabrics here and different styles here. And the inability to do that in the Bay Area has completely like put a damper on what we could be artistically on a bigger scale. The artistic ability is there, but it's not what's being promoted to the big stage. It's the same old stuff that's being pushed on the big stage, which is why the big stage doesn't really look to the Bay Area like we're still talking about, we should be having discussions about young up and comers that are on the big stage. But for us, we still talk about, the old greats, and that's respect to the legends. But it makes no sense that, when people bring up your great Bay Area artists, they're not going to bring up someone from the last decade most of the time. Most of the time they're going to bring up, like, Too Short. They're going to bring up Yakima. They're going to bring up E40. These guys, they've been doing this forever. It shouldn't be like that. They should still get their respect, and they should still be, have notoriety. But there's a reason why we don't have young up-and-comers even in the conversation. That makes no sense. Like, we have the talent. I'm not shying. A real collaboration should come because I feel the music. And I believe that 100%. I don't believe in manufactured collabs. I hate that when it's just like, this person's buzzing, that person's buzzing, now that should be a hit. Like, it's, especially to music fans, real music fans, it sounds so forced. Like, it's like cringe worthy. Like, I'm not feeling that when it doesn't feel authentic. So, no, I'm big on that. Like, there has to be a real like vibe, a real want to work with somebody, a real like you can tell when people really fuck with each other's sound, and then you can tell when it's just like, we collabed because this person had this many views and I had this many views, and the label said this would give us more views. Like, I don't like that. Said BayAreaCompass said, but everyone wants a price for their features, but you have to be creative and provide something different for these other artists. Remember, they are people too. Exactly. And you should be able to ask a price, but your price needs to reflect what your brand is worth. And like, your brand just isn't worth its worth isn't based off of what you feel it's worth. There is a tangible, a quantifiable number to what your brand is worth. Like, if I do the research and your brand isn't worth what you're saying it's worth, and that could be represented in like shows that you kill, you rock, huge venues, you have crazy amounts of streams in a crazy fan following, you sell however many units, you have a brand, you have your own actual website, you have things like a logo that like people identify with you, like the things that make a brand quality. We all respond to it. You would pay, like, these people pay high dollar for things like, I don't know, Gucci or Prada or whatever high brand name. It has zero to do with the quality of it at this point in time. It's because of the brand. It takes work to build a brand's, like its power, its control, it's over people's opinion. But once you get that, then you can control that conversation where this is the price for this. Like Lil Baby, he, once he got to that point, he instantly was like, but at this point, my features cost $100,000. There's a reason why he did that. And he's really shooting low based off of what his buzz is. But there's a reason why he did that. He wasn't coming out the gate saying my features should be $100,000. Like, you have to earn that. And even for the $500 verse, even for the $200 verse, you have to earn your verse costing $200. Like, you're not going to get $200 for your verse, and you have what has your verse actually accomplished, or what does your, you gotta do the work. People don't want to do the work. They just want to reap the benefits. They don't want to do the work, though. I respect people's price. I may think they are crazy as fuck, but I get it. Like I said, I love the idea that you feel things about your, you feel confidently in your art, and you feel that your art is worth however much you're, stating it to be worth and all that. I respect it, but I think it's just a bad business decision if you don't make your art like comparable to what the work that you've put in. You're just gonna shoot a price out there, but you're not putting like the quality of sound. Like if it sounds like you recorded this stuff in somebody's bathroom or something, you got like, like basic production on most of your work, or like, or the fact that you don't push your, I'm gonna be real, a big thing for me is how well does this artist actually push their work too? Like, and not to say that I've only worked with artists that push their work heavy. I've worked with, artists that don't even have any music besides what I've, featured them on. It's about the art, but in the end, like those prices need to reflect something. And if you can't understand that, you're not understanding how business works. This is business. You're running a business. You yourself as an artist are a business. If you don't get how business works, that your price needs to reflect something, I don't know what to tell you. And that's often the case. Look at Madonna in her 60s. She dropped a new album with trap and reggaeton. Exactly. Like, expand your sound, and people will be like, oh, they feel a way about it because it's not their usual shtick, and it's like, oh, it didn't do crazy numbers. Like, this person is able to artistically expand themselves and still have success in it, and like that is what being relevant or staying relevant really means. Like, relevant to yourself artistically, not just boxing yourself in and then feeling the pressure of people saying, oh, this is your sound, don't abandon your sound, or I'm going to say that you're a fraud. Like, no, I am who I am in the moment that I make this song. It might sound like this, I might be talking about this. That is forever relevant for that moment of who I am in time. But as I evolve, it might change. It probably will. It probably should. And if you want to hear that old sound, go tap back on old music. It is for sale. Hi, J-Rad. Hi, Shandy. Thank you for joining. Don't get stuck with monetary value. Nowadays, reaching these so-called big artists is much easier. We need to be more creative on reaching them to help build. Said, okay, so artists in the rise should remix those great musics and show them and other how you would have sounded. I mean, yeah, I agree, and I'm in full. I definitely like, I'm fine with like people sampling sounds and stuff. So we as artists should be ripping through these songs and drop something new weekly. Yes, work ethic. Where's the work ethic? Right? People make a song and you don't hear from them the whole rest of the year. Like, it doesn't work like that, and it's easy to get discouraged. You don't hit it out the park your first attempt or your first couple of tries. It's just like, you go into a dry spell and kind of a slump of depression, and you question if you even want to do music, or it doesn't work that way. If it was that easy, there'd be so many popping artists and making, like, out of every area, and it doesn't work like that. It takes work. Sometimes you might even drop a hit and it doesn't even get the notoriety just because you didn't put the push behind it to promote it. Like, there's levels to it all. Like, you have to put so much behind a great song even to make it into a hit, or even a recognized song, even locally. Like, you have to do that, and think about on a grand scale where people are like not even checking for your area like that. Stay on social media and build with the audience. Get the world to talk more about you. Yes, utilizing social media. I watched, I can't remember who was talking about, like, how they see social media as a chore as an artist, and they'd rather not. And it's like, here's the thing. If that's your shtick, if that is your persona, but you've been able to achieve a mass audience, then by all means, like, but don't look at J. Cole and say he has no social media presence and he has no, uh, he's not on Twitter and he's not on Instagram, but look how popping he is. Or look at Kendrick and say the same thing. Like, love those dudes. They're like my favorites. But realistically, like Kendrick, like by the point that most people heard him, he was working with Dr. Dre. It's completely different level. They like J. Cole's on Rock Nation. It's easy to forget that he's a major label artist and that he had, songs with Drake on his intro album. And like, it's not, you don't just get a crazy amount of fame and following and like a true core fan base that's like loyal and will buy all your merchandise and buy your music, and you don't get that without pushing yourself. And social media is the biggest pushing tool that we have it at our fingertips. And talking to people, I talk to people, from South Africa and Germany and like all over the world, from France and all like places I've never even stepped foot in, and full blown conversations and done business, made music, made art with people from places I could not reach with my hand. That's important. That's a big deal. Mac, Dre, Tupac, just to name a few, had too many features, and I wish they would have just killed the whole song. Some people don't give they all on collaborations. I don't want to hear 10 guys on the track. I think that's kind of like I get what you're saying. Jay-Z didn't get off on Kill My Vibe remix. I hope Hendrix didn't pay him. I would have been pissed. I kind of feel that about the Jay-Z verse on Kill My Vibe remix. He did not get off. I feel like that was, but I think that was a surprise to him. I think Top just like surprised him with that. I think that, yeah, I agree. I don't, that formula of music is kind of dead. Those long tracks that sound like a cipher or like with a billion artists on it, or like, I think the last time I was into that heavy was, One Train on, ASAP's, album, Long Live ASAP, I believe. Yeah, like that's kind of a dead formula, and people aren't really checking for that as much. Shoot, if you pay attention, songs now are shorter than they ever have been. Some songs you look and it's like 2 minutes are up, and the song's up, like song's over, 2 minutes. It's true, but when we speak on feature, you should be smart about it and just use them on hooks. That's another thing, yeah, or get them to speak on the track. That's another thing. Features aren't limited to having someone take up a full 16 bars via a verse. Like literally just having a feature. I like how you mentioned just having them even speak on it. That's major. Have you ever like peeped the effect of having someone like on an album doing the interlude? That it, depending on who it is, it sometimes puts a stamp of officiality on the album. Just them speaking on it, and like, yeah, ad libs, just doing the hook. Yeah, that's a big deal, and it's just about creating a vibe and being creative and utilizing the tools that you have. This person has this kind of voice. Oh, they would kill a hook for this, or this person just, I don't know, they like their persona and their charisma, and this would go well as an intro to the song. Just them maybe even talking on it, or like, creativity is key. BayAreaCompass, yes, as always, in the same zone. Yes, creativity is key. Let me see, a lot of these artists can be some dope ad libs on your. Yes, exactly. Let's see. I Am Lunchtime, he said, I thought Kendrick wasn't gonna make it. I thought people didn't want to hear bars like that coming from West Coast artists. Kendrick is he's a little more complex than people think, because if you break it down like lyrically, bar for bar, word for word, you can think of some artists that there's a list of artists that word for word are saying things that are more intricate. Kendrick's biggest strength is his ability to like control energy, control emotion, the passion he puts into the things. It makes you overlook where he might have came with some, more basic lyrically by the math, but the feeling that he made you feel, the feeling he put into it based on just sonically what he's able to do, emotionally what he's able to, it's powerful. There's no equation that can, no combination of words can speak against that, like to that power. Like either you got it or you don't, and like that's someone that he got it. I don't think you need me to tell you that. Thank you. I'm proud of you. We had this convo this morning, but I can't see you. Some crazy. Oh, well, I am blushing. Thank you. Continue to grow and go and do so much more. Thank you. And I'm proud to call you friend as well. Thank you. I said, I wish you were filming this. I have to log up. I'm just glad you came. I'm glad you guys came. I'm glad you guys actually, tapped in with me. And like, I thought it would be cool. I'm going to do this more often. I think that, like I said, I follow all these artists and all these platforms and all the, like, I think that there's some really good conversations we can have, like, because this stuff it's just not spoken about. And I think there's a lot of talent that could benefit from it. So, like, I talk to artists every day. And I think that, like, as we make these things like open up with a forum to have these discussions, we all grow from it. I like to hear from you guys. I like to, give my, like, weigh in on things and give my takes on things and see how, how everybody's feeling about it. So I'm glad that all of you guys actually came here to listen to me, blah, 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 for however long it's been. It's been like 45 minutes. And that's, yeah, I guess I can talk more than I thought. But yeah, thank you guys. And yeah, my final thought on all of this is just like business wise, artistically, like put your all into what you're creating. If you're not putting your all into what you're creating, then you're selling a faulty product. You're selling, and then the price needs to reflect that. What about telling a person to change their verse because you didn't feel it? Ooh, that's actually a good question. And yes, I think that if someone came, like, and I don't care who they are, if they came clearly lackluster, or they said something that's completely left field and out of whack, that's like, I don't want to be affiliated with this. I don't want, like, you said something that is like, sounds hateful, that something that I can't stand by. I'm gonna be real. It's very important to me. I need to stand by, like, what my collaborators are saying. Like, even if it's not something that the lifestyle I live or something like that, like, it needs to be morally sound to me. It needs to be, I'm not affiliating myself with things that I don't agree with. Like, no, this is like, you're not going to get on my track and say some just hateful or just like overly raunchy. Like, no, I'm not dealing with that, because my art, your art, you should be connected to it. You should have you should have a deep connection to it, because it's an expression of your feeling or your thoughts or your story, or you're not going to get on that and disrespect what it, and artists, they generally know the bounds. What the bounds are. When people step out of them, that it's almost like a lack of respect for those bounds, like, and people will do that. People, and then also the lackluster, the lazy verse. Someone sends you a lazy verse, which is like, no, I'm gonna go another direction. A cool thing that I learned from just listening to artists talk, I think it was Meek Mill talking about it, about
when you're working on an album, knocking stuff out before you're even sending tracks out to get verses. The track is done. I'm sending it out to multiple artists. I might even have my own verse for this pocket of time. Second verse, I got a verse recorded, but I would like to have this artist featured on it. Send it out. Maybe they're not, messing with it. Maybe they come weak on it, but either way, I'm not gonna be on some Brother Lynch shit. Right. Exactly. I'm not gonna be sitting there waiting on and postponing my art coming out, waiting on a feature to come back. Like, if you have stuff recorded and have contingencies, you're able to send stuff out and be like, hey, this is the deadline. You can't get it back to me, by that point. Don't even bother. Like, I'll move on to, this other artist, or I'll use my own verse, or I'll just not have that verse, or, like, having contingencies, because other artists and collaborations sometimes can make things take forever. You're sitting there waiting to drop your art, and you're waiting on this verse from someone who can't seem to get to the studio to record it, or they, like, for whatever reason, there's delays, because that is frustrating. You're waiting on something, because every artist, by the point you release something, it's old to you, it's new to other people, it's old, and you probably are tired of hearing it. But yeah, to have your whole art, waiting on it, to, like, those delays and stuff, that's frustrating. Nobody wants to, be sitting there waiting to be able to, and if someone reaches out to collaborate with you, it's an honor. They're saying they really mess with you. I really mess with you. I would really like to do this, like, very special thing with you. And if they can't get that, within a timely manner, or they, that's not, nobody's wanting to delay their whole project, or dropping a single, or any art based on someone's inability to do things in a timely manner. So yeah, no, I would, if someone sent me a verse that I wasn't feeling, I'm gonna just keep it real. Like, and if there's someone I really mess with, like, hey, you want to maybe try to redo that verse, or something, and that might come off as offensive to some people, but no, it's just a testament to, what I'm putting into what I'm releasing, how much I love what I do, how much I, care about my art. So yeah, like, I think that's a good question, though, because sometimes, like you said, that the Jay-Z feature on Don't Kill My Vibe, that was not high caliber Jay-Z. That's Jay-Z. Like, it felt very phoned in. It felt like a late career Robert De Niro acting job. It felt very phoned in. So yeah, no, like, send it back. I say send it back. If it's not, yeah, take it back. I'm good. Or take it back, like, hey, can you maybe come a little harder? Hey, I wasn't feeling, like, how do you word that? I wasn't feeling really how you came on that. But yeah, no, all right, I'm gonna wrap it up with that, because I think people are tired of hearing me ramble. So yeah, I'll wrap it up on that, and thank you all for logging in with me. I'm gonna do this again. It'll probably be even another setting. Like, I think this is pretty fun, actually. I'll do this again. All right.